Thank you for tuning in to Overexerted, a Disney Lorcana podcast. I'm your host, Heath.
And I'm Benny.
And
Dan
I'm
Regal.
Dan Regal.
I mean, well, we're assuming alternate identities.
I am Benny, and today we are joined by
Mr. Gray.
Oh, Mr. Karp.
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
Karp.
Karp. Sorry, Benny getting the intro wrong threw me out of whack.
Oh,
I had to.
haven't you been paying attention to the last couple of months? I make sure Benny doesn't get any intro down solid. This is nothing but chaos.
I had to. And I had
That's
to say
complete-
I was Heath because of the chaos.
Yes. This time, you know what? Before we started, I'm like, this episode, I'm going to try and keep it level. I'm going to try, just have a clean intro, just keep it nice, keep it professional.
Maybe next time.
Hope springs eternal.
What do you guys think of my background after last week's? Like, I need to move things. I slaved away for many minutes, and adjusted. So now everything's like even and kind of.
Martin, you can't see, but that is a beautiful background.
Oh, I can see you guys. You guys just can't see me.
Oh,
Oh.
perfect.
I love it. I love your background. It's the greatest background I've ever seen.
No, please. No.
No, I love your background. It's awesome.
But anyways, yes, we're joined by Martin.
Martin,
Say hi.
it's been a month. How you doing, buddy?
Long time no see, Dan or James. I
Right.
guess that's weird.
I know.
It doesn't
He
matter.
messes with all our psyches. It's fine.
It really does.
It's the alter ego.
So we've got one more episode in us after this. Is that the track record, Martin?
That's
Yeah,
what it
man.
is.
I think the day after what was it? Was it you or Jared that had posted on Discord like, hey, we're ending the podcast. I was like, I am the podcast killer. Like I killed Citizens of Arcana.
Right?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
As a proud Magic Carp fan, it makes me feel vindicated. It really does.
Isn't Magikarp literally supposed to do nothing? Isn't that its whole shtick?
Like one of one of the Pokédex entries is like it can jump 10,000 feet over mountains. It's a very complex Pokemon. Okay, up until like
I
Gen
call
4.
shenanigans on that.
Yeah, right. It's not
You like my PC version? I'm learning.
It's not Superman.
I think it can jump 10,000 feet over mountains, but also it is the destroyer of worlds or podcasts.
Let's go podcast. I like that. Destroyer of podcast.
There you go.
But it's also the fact that you have Martin turned in there because Martin's also a destroyer of things,
Yeah,
It's the Floodborns.
Martin.
Uh,
Martin will never get vindication. Sorry. I mean, basically, I think because we're also not getting story trailers. So
Yeah.
mhm.
what's gonna happen with Martin's story? I mean, we're gonna see it in cards, and his story is gonna take like 18 years to flush out, right?
Yeah.
One card every 3 months with something about Martin.
Yeah, and
What's
also
Japan's response to Martin, by the way? They're in
just
their
hate
Martin
him.
era right now.
Right?
They just hate him more than anybody.
Although now that James had mentioned that we're not getting story trailers, what's gonna last longer, Martin's story or the MCU? I'm just saying. I mean,
Ooh.
Martin is eternal.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why did the story trailers all of a sudden stop?
I mean, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Maybe. Hear me out here. Maybe, just maybe, we're getting an animated series.
I mean,
Oh,
that'd
I
there
be-
we
put
go.
the ball in your
Disney
court.
Plus. Yeah.
Give me
that would be
something.
pretty cool.
Give me something I can show my kids so that they're like, "Oh, that's great! I want to play that game." And I'm like, "Come with me, young one."
At the
I
very-
feel like we're probably a few years away from an animated
yeah,
series.
a few years. When we have more
Yeah.
characters, more storyline, more stuff.
Yeah.
They're sitting there playing in their room one day as I'm about to go to league, and I open the door and they're like, "Dad, what are you doing here?" As I throw my arm down and turn on my red lightsaber.
What?
Wrong game.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's what we did with younglings.
So by the time they come out with an animated series, so they'll have to write a lot more unique story because we've still had sprinklings of the unique story that people have complained about. Oh, it's
Mhm.
supposed to be Disney canon only. by that time they come out with the animated series, entirely new stories. Us old folks can get together and be like, in my day, Lorcana was just about the canon Disney characters.
In my day, Martin destroyed everything.
I mean, I already kind of sound like that, but you know.
Guys are making me think of the card games on motorcycle memes when Yu-Gi-Oh went to like motorcycles on card games.
Yeah.
Let's not get into Magic the Gathering that's just going everywhere. All the IPs.
Isn't there like a racetrack one now? And then they got Final Fantasy coming up, and then
the question
they had like
with
a
Magic is
Spanish
like,
mystery.
Which one was the one where it's like, okay, that one jumped the shark? Did it like jump the shark 80 times?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that their excuse was they had these secret layers, which weren't full sets. They were like 5 cards at a time, and then that became full sets, right? So they had sprinklings of other IP in these small little promo packages, and then they eventually just went to full sets. They had the Dungeons and Dragons sets, they had the Lord of the Rings set. So yeah, I mean, it's jumped the shark so many times. I feel like when it really struck home for me was like the D&D set.
I thought
that was
it would have been My Little Pony.
Oh my gosh, the SpongeBob SquarePants promos.
Now, SpongeBob, because I enjoy that one because they're at least making the cards into the memes.
Oh yeah, that I will give them was pretty brilliant.
Do they have one where he's doing the, like the chicken arm, like hunchback?
No. But they did have what was it? I'm not a huge SpongeBob person, but I know the memes. I just don't know the characters.
Yeah.
Who's the Squidward?
Plankton. Oh,
the Squidward, where he's like beady-eyed, like super angry Squidward.
Yeah. When do we get Giga Chad Squidward as a Magic card?
I don't know. Back to Heath real quick on when they jumped the shark when they did D&D. You think that would be in the norm because Magic started out as like an offshoot of D&D.
Oh yeah, it went full circle, right? Yeah, it was a D&D ripoff that then
Inception.
D&Dception?
Yes, or MTGception.
Okay. We're getting somewhere now.
All
right. Well, we've spent 8 minutes.
I was going to say, am I going to be the one that tries to get us back on track?
Yes,
here?
Benny, this is your show. You got to
I was about ready to, but I'm like, I just let him go.
So if you don't know who Martin Karp is, he is the one who goes around. We've talked about it on previous episode. What was that, 2-3 episodes ago? He's the one who goes around and hands out a lot of bulk to people in the park to help promote the game, actually, without getting paid to do it. He's paying to do it. So hats off to him.
Yeah, $150 entry at a time.
We have annual passes. I think our annual passes, because we're Florida residents, it was like, like 65 down, and then we pay like 65 a month.
Actually, it's Magic Key now.
I don't care what it is. It'll always be an annual pass to me.
Yeah.
So I got a question for James and for Martin Karp here. Do you guys want to rent me a room so I can use that as my address when I go to buy Magic Key for my family?
So, fun fact, I'm pretty sure Magic Key only exists in California because in Florida we're called annual pass holders.
Oh, really?
I'll take both. I'll take both because I mean that's part of the most expensive part of the trip.
Different between the. Oh my gosh, Disney.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you been to California and Disney World? They're both completely different.
That's true.
I've actually never been to Disney World.
I have no interest to go to Disney World. I'll be honest with you. I've been to Disneyland like 25 times as a Canadian resident, Canadian citizen. No interest to go to Disney World.
We don't want.
I mean, that's fair.
I have interest to go, but not until my kids are like 10-ish, because I've heard the parks are massive, and I don't need to hear my legs hurt 50 times in a day.
I don't want my legs to hurt.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you can fit Disneyland, like all of Disneyland, California Adventure, and Downtown Disney in the Magic Kingdom parking lot.
That's crazy.
This
Well, I
is
don't
why
wanna
I
walk through
like
the parking lot.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
This is why I like Disneyland. I can walk everywhere easily.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, you can walk the parks easily. You just can't walk from one park to another. It's a
Yeah.
I I think there's a trail from Epcot to Hollywood Studios, and I want to say that's about it's like 2 to 5 miles, like just walking the trail along the water. Like it's nice and it's pretty, but it's a lot of walking.
I mean, I've sold a lot of people on Disneyland in my travel agent days, but so tell us about these bulk adventures, man. I teed it up a little bit. Benny was talking about the other day on our moments of gratitude, but tell us a little bit about your adventures.
So it started right around Inkland's. We were in the parks and we hadn't really up until like everybody Lorcana was like super scarce, especially here. Um, and I remember like us, we were going to the parks, we weren't running into products. So when Inkland's dropped, we were in the Disney store, like the big Disney store, and I was like, I haven't seen any in the parks. I was like, and I would ask cast members about it, and they'd be like, "What's that? I don't know what this is." So I'd have to lore
Mm.
dump on them, pretty much on the fly in the parks. And at the time, we didn't have like a lot of bulk. So I kind of looked at my wife, and I was like, "Hey, I want to start doing this. I was like, I want to start bringing it to the parks and talking to cast members about it, and other guests." Um, and one of the like the reasons why I haven't stopped is I love like the reaction from cast members when I offer it to them, or even guests. But mostly it's just cast members because I have Dan can attest. I have a big old like caveman beard, and it's just really weird for me to be like, "Hey, kid, would you like car?" Like I was like, "I promise I'm not creepy." Um,
Duly
so like,
noted, add caveman beard to the visual approximation of
It's
Martin.
it's not quite Jack Black status, but it's getting there.
yeah, pretty much. Um, but yeah, so like I remember one point, I handed them to a cast member, and a kid apparently earlier was like, "Do you know where I can get Disney Pokemon from?" And the cast member was like, "What?" Like the cast member had no idea what they were talking about. You know, kind of like just shrugged it off. So I mean that's pretty much like how and why it started. Um, and my wife has being a nurse has kind of like unofficially diagnosed me with autism, or some form of neurodivergency. And so like it's one of the things actually very I look forward to when we go to the parks is
Nice.
well, yeah, we're there so often. Like we probably average about once a month just because we can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of like we don't do a lot of rides, but we'll do like pin trading. And while we're pin trading, I'll like be like, "Hey, have you heard of your Lord and Savior Lorcana?" No, well, you're going to. Um,
Very ironic you should bring that up on Easter.
We're not wrong. Um, so yeah, so I mean, it's just a blast to introduce people to the game.
Yeah.
And I've started to recognize cast members like by name, some by face. And they started like to recognize me. Like I had one cast member, um, she remembered me, I didn't remember her, and I like pulled out this little like janky binder before I switched to this like big old Stitch Lorcana binders from I think the set six gift set. She was like, "You're the Lorcana guy, right?" And I was like, she was like, "Oh, I remember you. We were talking about the game and Worlds whenever that's supposed to be. Because when I tell cast members about Worlds, they're like, I haven't heard of that, and I was like, neither have we, so you're not missing out. Uh, but it's a blast. It's a hoot and a half, as we say in the South. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's great that you've gotten such positive response too. Like it hasn't just all been crickets, you know?
yeah. Sometimes it is crickets, and like the last time we went, I had I gave out like two starter decks to some cast members, and they were like, "What's this?" So one girl was kind of off to the side, and she was just like, it was like crickets at first, and then her friends were like, "Yeah, come get this. He's offering you a card for free. Come get a card." Um,
Nice.
and he like was like, "Okay," like very sheepish about it, but yeah, no, like there's I want to say there's some interest from cast members for sure.
That's awesome.
I should definitely start doing that because I did it on the plane ride when we went down for D23. my wife and I were on the plane. There was a kid like freaking out, and I like turned around. And I was like, "Hey, who's your favorite Disney character?" And the kid's like, Donald Duck." And I was like, "Oh, perfect." I like opened up my binder, and it was only my binder of trades because I was expecting to see people at D23 to trade with and foils. And I'm like, I'm always ready to get rid of foils. And I'm like, here's a Donald Duck bodyguard card from this Disney trading game. And then the dad turns around. He's like, "Oh, thank you so much, man." He's like, "What's that game called?" Because he plays Pokemon. I was like, no, 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 no. This is way better. If you like Disney, jump onto this. And then on the plane ride back, there was two girls that were freaking out behind me, and it was like the lone dad coming back. And I did the same thing. Who's their favorite Disney character? And the one was Elsa, and I was like, "Let me bust out some foils again. Here you go." So it worked out really well, and yeah,
Nice.
it's definitely an awesome thing that you're doing.
Nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I at one point I kind of looked at the wife and I was like, I just kind of want to make content about this,
Mhm.
and we it got to a point where and then this, I mean, again, we've been doing this for like a year and a half. This was one of our more recent trips. A cast member, like, we I did my shtick because typically I'll walk up and I'll be like, hey, after we penetrate, I'm like, what's your favorite Disney movie character, blah blah blah, and a lot of them give me Pixar, and I'm just like, Disney proper. So like I say no Marvel, no Pixar, no Star Wars, and they'll be like, is Brave Pixar? And I'm like, how do you people work here? Like what's going on? Um, but give me one second. I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. So but we had a cast member. I think I mentioned it in I mentioned it I think like in every Discord I was in because I was like, oh my God, like I never expect this to happen. A cast member gave us like fast passes, like lightning lane passes or whatever you want to call them, like
Oh,
for free.
nice.
Yeah, and it was, yeah, like the cast member, like it put me on the spot. We were there for like 15 minutes. And she was like, we're not going to take no for an answer. Like, you have to take this. And it was just like, and at that point, I was just like, I kind of looked at my wife. I was like, I'm really glad I didn't make content out of this. I was like, because that would have made it to seem to some people that like, I'm doing this for the clout. Um, which in
Yeah.
reality, I just about the game.
That's
Yeah.
the unfortunate part about ever making content, doing nice things, is everyone just thinks you're doing it for the content, whereas it's like you're just trying to show people that they can also do that.
Yeah.
James, you were saying that you do something similar locally, not necessarily in the parks, but
Yeah.
what do you like to do?
Whenever we've had new people, I mentioned it last week where we have new people showing up almost every month. And what I like to do is at the end of the night, after, saying, hey, what's up? Are you planning on coming back? How do you like it?
Mhm.
I'm like, hey, so are you looking for cards? Because I have a lot of bulk at home and I can bring it in next week if you want, and you can just go through and pick whatever you want to build decks. So a couple people have taken me up on that and just sit there and just rifle through cards. And one of them was like, I want every single Aladdin card I can find because I'm making an Aladdin deck, but I also want all the cards. So, all the bulk, just take all the Aladdin you want. So it was really cool. So yeah.
So
Nice.
this person that's a fan of Aladdin sounds like a pretty good person, in my opinion. If you're a
Quality
fan of
people.
Aladdin, top tier person.
He's an okay dude.
He's all right. Yeah,
I'm
I'm with you, James. I do the same thing if there's local people that show up for the first time. I see them first time. It's like they always have that head tilt, right? Like, what's this? It's like, let me help you out with that.
Yep. It's fun. It's fun though. I mean, and also, I mean, if I know that Benny, you say you take a lot of stuff in and just trade it into the store for
Yeah.
store credit, so you don't really have a lot of stuff laying around. But for me, it's like I have a hard time getting rid of everything because I'm a pack rat. So
Yeah.
I have, all of my bulk. I actually take the time to put it at least in ink order, and sometimes I'll actually put entire sets in numerical order or alphabetical now.
Mhm.
And actually have all my bulk organized. So when someone goes through it, they can just like go right on through and be like, pick everything they want. Easy to go, not have to go through 800 cards and try and find the 3 that they want.
Yeah.
So
I guess I should clarify. I don't get rid of everything, but I
okay.
do take a massive stack and I go right to the store. It's mostly the foils. I'll just
Yeah.
take foils in because it's like anything else. I'm like, throw it in the $6,400 or not $6,400. Throw it in the 6,400 count box or the 3,200 or whatever it is, and we'll just go from there.
Yep.
I try and
Yeah.
keep like 4, and for the longest time I was hoping I could get my wife and kids in. And so for like the first 2 sets, it was like we need 8 of all the commons and uncommons, and then the rest will go in the trade binder. And then neither of them seem very interested yet. I'm still trying for the kid. He's just turned 7, so I'm like we're getting closer to the age that's like pristine to get him in there. Whereas I kind of see all the other kids playing. I'm like, hey, how old? I'm like, not to sound weird or anything. I know I've got a mullet.
How
and a
old are you,
mustache.
young child?
And no, I go right to the parent. I go, how old's your kid? And they're like, oh, he's 10. And I'm like, okay. Soon. I look over at my own kid and I'm like, I'll get you.
So I've actually had this question from people locally because there's very few stores around here that'll accept bulk. So like, I've got all this bulk. What do I do with it? So just to throw it out there, one, if anyone out there has any thoughts about what they do with their bulk, throw it in the comments, especially if it's, something like what Martin's doing, what James is doing. But talk to your local libraries, your local community centers, your local schools. Be like, hey, I've got these card games that are, you could say designed for kids. It's not really, we know that, but do you do anything like that with other games, like with Pokemon or something like that? And could I donate some to you to give out to other kids? See what happens.
I also know
Yeah,
that.
we have.
Oh, go ahead, Martin.
Okay, yeah. Well, we have there's another nurse, not my wife, in our community. I don't know if she still does it, but she used to take like her bulk up to like the hospital she would work at and just leave it in the kids wing or kids area or whatever.
Oh,
So I mean that's also an option.
for sure.
But some people don't think about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know another fun thing to do is just to theme some things around, like at Halloween time, is to put together little either starter decks or just a set of cards, like 20 or 30 bulk cards, with the business card of your local shop, and hand those out along with the candy that you're handing out, so that people get a little extra treat and maybe something fun to do after, while they're hopped up on candy that night.
That's great. And a great way to support your local LGS. Love that.
Yeah, Tombkeeper, hook me up with some cards so I can start doing this next Halloween season.
Awesome. Well, what else is going on in the wide world of Lorcana right now? James, I think you had some thoughts about the more international side of Lorcana right now.
Well, right now in Japan, there was actually a lore quest or some big event was happening in Japan, and it's the set 2 meta. And I saw a few posts on Twitter from people, and the first one I saw, the person listed their 7 rounds, and 6 of their 7 rounds were against Ruby Amethyst. And I'm like, wow, I remember that.
Surprise.
And, and I'm like, hey, but then I saw the next one, and it was a mix of blue steel, and there was actually a sapphire amber deck in there that they played against.
Whoa.
And some Ruby Amethyst, but there was a little bit of more of a mix. So, but it looks like Ruby Amethyst is dominating the set 2 Japanese meta, just like it did here. But I think it's cool that they're getting these big events, these big official events that are going on around there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I think all of us want to see more events. I don't think anyone's like, please, Lorcana, give us less events. We're all like, hey, if we could get like an event every month or 2, that'd be awesome.
I mean, coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of people don't seem to like the system. Like, because I've told people like what they should do: give us regional qualifiers, which are like it's a for in Lorcana terms, it's a spot. It would be like a tournament. It would be a step up from a set championship, but a step down from a DLC. One day, like if you figure out pricing, but like stores can independently run them either at their own shop or other venues. And I mean, like, but like these things, I can go to the Konami regional website right now, and you can probably find like 4 at any given weekend across like at least the U.S. I don't know about Canada because I mean you guys aren't as I guess big as the U.S.
True.
Although you are.
Whoa. Landmass, we're bigger.
I mean, I don't think that's what he was referring to. But
Population,
we'll go with that.
Not so much.
Population, how big the game is.
That's true. That's fair.
Economy.
We also got from the Chinese side, they actually put out a Path to World Championship series of events, and they are getting smaller events, not just DLCs, to lead up to the World Championship. They're calling them like big prize tournament qualifiers or challenges, and then a big prize tournament and a challenge tournament, and then a simplified Chinese championship tournament, which has all the top players from all those other ones get invites. And then, of course, the ones from the Chinese championship go to the world championship.
Now, it was specifically the 2026 World Championship, right? Was that established? I saw that floating around Twitter that it wasn't for this World Championship. Was that confirmed?
It won't be for this one. I'm almost positive because they won't even have set 7 until the end of the year.
Yeah. Such a wild dynamic with the international.
Mm-hmm. What about this other thing that came out recently? I don't think it's really officially out, but there's the website, the Lorcana Hub.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. the currently under maintenance Ravensburger Play Hub that was live for about a day and a half, and everyone could sign up, and it was a very slow site, and then everyone saw that sideboards were on there, and everyone freaked out, and now it's not available anymore.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should edit this part out because now I'm remembering like it's not really officially out. Maybe we shouldn't even talk about it.
You just want to give me more work. This is what's going on. I see what's happening here. I suddenly volunteer to do the editing, and all of a sudden Benny's all willy-nilly with, "Oh, we can edit this out. We can edit that out. That's
just
fine.
cut it. Just cut it." You know what? Let's make it easy for you. Should we open a pack?
I mean, I still had a question for James about the international.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just curious, like, actually I had 2 questions. First question is, were the Chinese tournaments language locked like the Japanese tournaments?
I have not heard. I have not seen that. I have not seen an announcement about the Chinese ones.
Okay. And 2, you mentioned kind of steps. So there's actually, is it like qualifiers, like qualify to qualify to qualify, or how is that working? Or are we just hypothesizing right now?
If you could look in our Discord chat, I posted the screenshot of the little thing that they released, so you can see like the steps. It's like it is steps. There are smaller things to bigger things to the championship. So I think there is 1 level extra because right now for us it was DLC, championship, world championship, and they have 1 extra step in the Chinese listings.
The reason I asked that is because that's some feedback that I've heard for like the sheer demand that DLCs were getting. It's like it'd be great if set champs or something, or there was a step before the DLCs, so that if we had 500,000, even 2,000 person DLCs, they still had to qualify for that, just to kind of artificially shrink the demand, I guess you could say, or just make it so that, quite frankly, the top players are always at the DLCs, right? Now you could argue the counterpoint to that. Oh, that's not fair. I want to still participate even though I'm not a top player. It's like, but that's kind of what these competitive events are for, is to showcase the top players in the game. So
go ahead, Martin.
I was gonna say, so hear me out, and this is I've gotten a lot of flack for. That regional circuit I was talking about. You keep DLCs where they are, the 2-day events, the big money prizes. You give the regional events, you either give them, like Keith was saying, like if you top the regional, you get like an automatic spot for like a DLC. Alternatively, you automatically get an invite to Nats or the NHC, whatever, like the North American Championship qualifier. I don't care what I'm calling it nationals. I'm from Yu-Gi-Oh. Leave me alone about it.
So good.
Because I mean that's what we do. I mean,
I think for
that did.
DLCs, I could see that, and that would give really big stakes to set champs if
Yeah.
the winner of set champs got basically a gimme invite to, I don't know if it would be the next DLC or DLC of their choice. I mean, logistics we can figure out later, but just having that as part of the stakes for set champs would really spice that up.
Mhm. Or maybe give it to like top two or like top four
Sure.
since they took away.
Yeah,
Okay.
whether it's
like,
winner, top two, top four, like some path via set champs to DLCs as an automatic entry would be an interesting way to spice those up. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of down on the stakes for set champs since Stitch, quite frankly, since Inklands. I'm like, I mean, I enjoy being competitive, so I mean, there's that. But the actual prizing, I'm like, is fine.
So I feel like, and I can basically say yes. I kind of think that we're going to be getting the Ravensburger Play Hub for the main purpose of them being able to control the circuit, and that we will be getting something resembling either an access or a point system based on our participation in locals. And so I feel like we are going to get a level under DLCs and above set champs.
Yeah.
I feel like that's coming, and that's why all of this is delayed and why everything is taking so long, because they were surprised, very much surprised by all of the interest and how big it was. And they're like, okay, let's get everything in, let's get it all done, let's have this first season, and then you know what? We need to take a step back and we need to actually be ready for what's coming next, because we can't keep running. I mean, they essentially ran those on the run.
Yeah.
And they can't do that and continue succeeding. Something big will crash if they continue doing that. And so I feel like that the step back and the hiring of a bunch of people is them resetting to give everyone an actual foundation and a format similar to what Martin was talking about, where we have steps up from regionals and invites to certain things based on how well you do, either locally or in regionals or in DLCs or whatever you want to call them. And I feel like that's coming, and I think I wish it was here sooner, but I know that it's something that if you read between the lines, you can see that that's kind of what's happening based on the people that they're hiring, the things that have stopped and not gone forward. You can just basically see that. And if you look at it, it's like Disney isn't going to just like axe Lorcana. And they are getting a lot of requests and a lot of demands of, we need to do these things if we want to become a real TCG.
Sure.
And so I think that they see that, and that's what they're working towards. And unfortunately, it's at the expense of everyone wanting to know what's happening next. And they can't, like, we can't tell you because we need to spend like 3 months building things.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's actually really
I
fair.
think that's where we are. So I think it's unfortunate for everyone wanting to compete right now. And that's why we're kind of in these doldrums of, well, we've got set champs, but it's a card that only 20% of the people want. And the meta was kind of messed up for a little bit, and now it's cool, but all we can do is just play weeklies and play set champs and these third-party tournaments. So it's all we have, and we don't know how long that's going to be for, which is, I think, the real bummer.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm going to keep playing the game. I obviously love the game. I could take a break from tournaments for the rest of the year if everything was exactly kind of how you said next year. If they said, hey, we're just going to hold off for anything like that. We'll get into Worlds this year and that's about it. But then next year, we're going to be coming at you guys with we're locked and loaded, ready to go. And we hope you guys enjoy it. I would probably try and get myself to 2 DLCs next year but I had a blast. Like, it was the fact that I also got to go down with like 11 close friends
Yeah.
that I've
You
made
guys
through
had a
the
great
game,
group.
and we had a blast, like an absolute blast down there. And then I know we even saw you there, James, with Eric, and like, I didn't actually see Heath. I know he was there, but I didn't see him.
I was zenning out. I was like, focus, Heath, focus.
And like I just know that we had a blast, and I was like, if I could do that again, I would love to. I'd love to get more people in our group and just, mob around in a group of 20, 25, meet up at a certain point. How'd your game go? What do you think you could improve on? Yada 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 yada, and just kind of stick to that. But yeah, I'm fine with only having worlds this year. As sad as it to say, because I would love to go back to Seattle again. As sad as that is to say, yeah, I could take a break for a year and just have worlds and try to be an attendee.
I think that's the tone we have to take, right? Like, is
Mhm.
we want it now. Yes, we
Yeah.
want it now, but like realistically. And Martin, I think this segues nicely to your Twitter post. Was it today or was it yesterday? I'm losing track of time
It was
about this
yesterday.
very subject. Yeah, I think that's the tone that we need to take. You want to share with the people what you said yesterday?
Yeah, it was something to the effect of like it's okay, like if you're not having fun with the game, to take a break. If you're not having fun with your deck, to take a break. Um, because I went, I don't know what triggered it. But I have I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was younger. So I still have like episodes here and there. And like Wednesday, I didn't really want to be at locals, but I'd shown up because I want the pin. I want to get the pin for my wife.
Mhm.
And I went like 0-3 drop, and I was in like just a really bad mood, and I was blasting Red Fossa on like different discords, and I was like this deck sucks. I'm done with this deck. Blah blah blah. And
I
then
remember.
I took a day or two, and I was like, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to just put this deck down.
Mhm.
You know, and I think because Lorcana is many people's first TCG, like most of the people on Twitter, they don't, or X or whatever, they don't know me other than the Lorcana, like, oh, I play Lorcana.
Mhm.
Um, but sometimes, you have to hear that it's okay from somebody you either view as a peer, somebody you view better than you. Not saying that I'm better than anybody because I'm not. Um,
I
but
mean,
but
I'll give you
sometimes
you're
it's okay.
better than me, but
Oh, well, I mean, thank you. Um, but yeah, sometimes people just need to hear like that's okay. And I want to assume that the episode Katie over with Lore Keeper Zen did with TFM probably something very similar. I didn't watch the video just because of time.
definitely recommend
Um,
that one.
yeah, but it's stuff that like I don't think people express enough um, through one or like through one way or another.
Mhm. Like me
Thanks
me
for sharing
personally,
that.
similar to what you were talking about Heath earlier with like locals and stuff like that, and I I'm similar to Martin, where I want to get the pins, I want to collect it all, I want to do all that stuff, but at the same time, um, I've actually dialed it back, and it does have to do with family responsibilities as well, and I'm taking kind of more step in that direction and less step in the full blown my own hobbies. Because I get very invested in something, and I've been told by my wife I get very invested, and it's like I'm shut down into my own little fortress of that's all I focus on. But I've got my wife playing soccer Monday and Tuesday and Thursday, and I used to go to locals Tuesday, Wednesday, and occasionally Friday. And then I've got my son now playing baseball on Wednesdays. He has practice. So I'm like, okay, well, there goes Tuesday and Wednesday. So I've just started going to locals on Friday. But I've almost gotten to the point where I'm like, a lot of the locals that I have these good friendships with, I'm like, hey, who has these pins? And one guy's like, oh, I've got two of the pins that you need. I've got extras of them. I've got extra Mad Hatters. I've got extras of the Amber pin. Like, what do you need? And I was like, I actually need all the pins. I have none of them. All I have is the Bell lore counter. And he's like, well, I don't have a Baymax pin. And I was like, I have like 4 Baymax pins. And he's like, "Oh, perfect. Well, yeah, we'll just do that then." I'm like, "Okay, perfect. Like that's fine by me." But I've kind of stopped going, I need it, I need it, I need it, I need everything. And I've kind of just gone like, dude, just go play the game, mess around with some decks. That's what I did this week. I actually completely swapped my deck out, and I've realized where there's a lot of faults in the deck, and I'm going to probably either rearrange it and try it again or try a different deck. But like I've just gone to like just go
Can't
and
save him, James.
just go and have fun with it. And like this is a nice little social event. It's a nice just get out and kind of relax. And when you kind of when you stop going from like I have to win this to like whatever, man. Like I'm just here. You know,
I have to get all the things. I have to win this.
Yeah, I need all the shiny pieces. I need all the pieces of Exodia or all the Millennium pieces to survive. You know, you just go and you just play the game and have fun, chat with your friends, and kind of just see how their week went and see what they're up to. And it's just kind of a nice experience. Like I showed up, I showed up with a Tupperware dish because I ran out the house with my dinner in hand and this deck that I assembled in like 15 minutes ready to go. Because I was between like bathing a kid and putting one to bed and trying to build my deck, and my wife had to go and do something. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then I just threw this deck together and ran there, played it. And you know what? Yeah, I didn't do great. I think I came middle of the pack out of like 8 people. I think I came in like 4th. Whatever. It was fun. I got the deck to do the thing, and that's what I enjoyed. I was playing against a Ruby Amethyst player, and if anybody wants to know what deck I was playing Sapphire Emerald.
I mean, of course.
Yes.
And I hit him with the Ink Geyser.
Nice.
Well, we were at about 6 or 7 ink. Hit him with Ink Geyser after throwing down an Ursula and something else. A 1 cost. I think it was the Clarabelle 1 cost. And I had no cards in hand after throwing the ink. Well, I got a couple cards back in hand, and I ended up inking it and then going like, okay, your turn. And he goes, okay. And I look, I'm like, how many cards you got? And he's like, 8. So I like draw up to 8 because I have the shifted Clarabelle out already. And I'm like, we're off to the races, baby. Here we go. Next turn, he gets to play like 1 or 2 cards. And then I play Sail the Azurite Sea. I draw a card. Sail the Azurite Sea. I play Sail the Azurite Sea, draw another card, and then I just went, I ink. And it was so good. It was so good. Get the Fishbone Quill out there, and then he's just got a handful of cards again. And I'm like, okay, let's see what he does. Plays 1 card, inks a card. I go, bend to my will. Now you got no cards, and you're just top decking. Enjoy the game.
You're an animal.
But I got the 1 round.
I feel like we've lost the plot a little bit here. We were talking about how we were just enjoying the game, and now we're just going on.
Now he's like, and I destroyed my opponent.
No. It was that 1 game, but it was
Martin
the deck.
gives us this feel-good story, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm with you, man." And that's like, and then I crushed my opponent into the dirt.
Crushed him into the dirt, and I just kept inking cards, and I ended the game with 20 ink. No, but it was that 1 game where I got the deck to do the thing that I was like, this is what it's all about, man. Just coming, trying a new deck, and
just
whatever, see what happens. Yeah. Have fun with it. I mean, I lost every game after that, so whatever.
So James is probably the most, I would say, competitive player here in this group. How are you feeling right now? Like, no shame if you're going hardcore. Like, how are you feeling about?
Yeah, I mean, when the meta was all Sapphire at the beginning of the set, we do at our stores, we do 2 weeks of sealed first, and then we get back into constructed.
Nice.
And so we had time to see that the meta was shaping up to be totally Sapphire heavy, and I was like, all right, let's go. What can I play to beat the Sapphire decks? So I played the Emerald Amethyst discard deck 3 weeks in a row, and I went 9-2, and I was having a blast. I'm like, it was like at the end of the night, my brain was fried because I mean, you got that deck is not super easy to pilot, and you gotta think almost every turn, like, what am I doing?
So many lines.
And so it was just a lot. It was just a lot of fun going. I felt like I was just like I'm working towards trying to figure out how I'm going to win and get a top 8 at set champs. That was my goal, was like, what can I do without playing Sapphire? Or I'm going to play this until I can really say no, and then I'm just going to play a Sapphire deck when set champs come around. But then with the meta changing now, it's like, okay, now let's think of something. And I'm seeing so many people try some new and fun things, and I'm like, yes, like your deck, Benny. It's like it's a deck we've seen, but still, let's try it again. Now that we have this wide open meta, let's try things. Let's try Ruby Steel. Let's see if that thing actually is going to work. Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone's like, Ruby Steel has no draw. And I'm like, throw in a whole new world. Just do it. See what happens. So
That'd be really interesting.
Yeah. Because I mean, you have so much stuff you can do with all the different ink colors. Why not try it out? We have time. We have a few weeks before set champs season.
So it sounds like you're feeling lighter. You're feeling the vibes a little bit.
As Benny says, the whole like I have to have everything. No, I still have to have everything. Look at me. I gotta get everything. I'm like,
I must have it all.
I still don't have the amber pin. I still don't have the bell counter. I don't have the little show me more deck box.
You've got your Lorcana gauntlet on, and you need all the.
I do, and the thing is though is that I've, but like Benny, I'm like, you know what? I don't need it now. I'll get it eventually. I'll eventually someone will have an extra, and I'll be able to trade for it or whatever it may be. So I'm not worried about it. And if not, and if all this fails, I'll just go buy it on eBay. I mean, it's like, come on.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about. I still need it. I say whatever, but I still need it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll get it one way or another.
It's just the after the first chapter that it took a while for that to wane to like, okay, it's not going to disappear. I can wait a little bit and I can get it when I get it. So
yeah.
No, my wife drags me. Like I walk in the house and she'll be like, how'd league go? I'll be like, oh, if I top, I make star code. I'm like, hey, like I top. She goes, but where's my pin? I was like, oh, well,
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, pretty much. I suck and to do better. Yeah, that's.
So rather than bring home the bacon, it's about bringing home the pins.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
which pin are you after?
Right now, so I'm buying the Hatter pin off a guy who, because the way my Wednesday night locals decided to schedule it a little differently this time. It used to be at the end of the 4 weeks, first would get their choice, and then they would raffle off the other two. Okay. Instead, we've done, because I think there's 12 pins now, like 6 of each. We've done one at random, but once you get the pin, you don't get any more. So
okay, get more and more hands, but it means you can't get both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. But the logo pin, that is still up for grabs for anybody that got like a Bolt or a Hatter.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So, but those are going to top 6. So like at the end of like the 12 weeks, if you're in the top 6, you get an amber pin.
So it doesn't sound like they're necessarily following that kind of new rules that came out for League. I was gonna ask, is anyone's locals following that? Because I know Aegis went that route with the new rules that they sent out, where they're doing weekly draws instead for the pins.
I was gonna say, as far as I know, nobody in my locals does
weekly results.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in Northeast Florida, and I think we've got like 7 shops that like host Lorcana any day of the week. So, yeah, I don't know what all the shops do. My Wednesday night locals and then what used to be my Saturday locals are doing this the pin, the pin format the same. Yeah.
Ours was actually doing giveaways of a lot of the stuff weekly before they announced that.
Ours before it was cool.
Ours barely had to change. So what we do is, because of the way the pins are, it's like they have odd and even weeks. So 1 week they give away 1 pin, and then the next week they'll give away 2 pins to the top 2. And then all of the promos, they give away like 6 to 8 promos, I think, a week, and it's random. And then they'll give away 1 box, show me more box each week, and 1 lore counter, I think, either every week or every other week.
Nice.
And it's all randomized. So the only thing that you can win is a pin by doing well.
Yeah.
And then you get, of course, get packs for doing well as also. And then everything else is random lottery every week.
Nice. So people can feel good just
But they
attending.
did give away the Kronk. The Kronk was the buy a
The
box.
buy a box, yeah.
They did do that. And then the other 3 promos are the ones that they're giving away every week.
Nice.
I think.
Well, speaking of packs, should we wind things
here we
down
go.
here? I look at this guy. Benny's just like itching. All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Benny, it's your show. I want you to lead the way. And Martin, here you can have your limited fix. Why don't you share with us your pick one, pack one?
We've got Elsa.
Ooh.
We've got Water Has Memory.
Sorry, Katie.
We've got He's a Tramp. We've got Roger Radcliffe.
Poor Roger.
The Matchmaker.
Yeah.
This is not a
The
very
terrible
good
pack
pack.
so far.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Dr. Calico.
Oh,
I know you like that one, Heath.
the best doctor.
With Bushu is busted.
Mother Goth.
Mother Gothel.
There's some kind of secret deck tech with that card that's going to come around someday, man. That card.
They can do
Yoda.
some work.
Yeah.
Coda.
Coda. That's what I'm taking right there. Throw evasive on him and you've got it. Gizmo Duck.
Okay.
Ah. Hades.
Okay.
This next one's probably going to be Maribel.
Hey, man. Some people like it in limited.
Tramp.
Nice.
I saw that smile. I thought it was like enchanted or something. And I was gonna be like, no way.
And then Cogsworth.
All right, Martin, out of this heap, what are you taking? Pick one, pack one.
I'm gonna leave the Hades for sure. I guess I'll take the Dr. Calico. Just cause.
Yeah,
Just
solid. Yep. What about you, James? What's your... I'm Mother Gothel.
I'd try some shenanigans with the Mother Gothel just for fun.
Yeah. And the 3 drops are kind of weak in this set. So I'm Mother Gothel, but Calico is probably my second. It's just 4 drops. There's so many. Like on rate, I like probably Dr. Calico better, but because there's so many strong 4 drops, it's like... But yeah, both are pretty good.
That pack
Wow.
felt like a gift set that was just full of Inklands.
That was, yeah, that was bad. All right, James, redeem us. Redeem us.
All right.
This is your winnings for the week? Is this...
This was my participation pack last week.
Oh, okay.
I have to wait all week because I go on Mondays to my local, so I have to wait all week with this sitting on my desk,
Oh,
taunting me all week long.
You have yes, great
don't-
You
will.
are a gentleman.
I do not have that will. I open packs and then I walk into the store and I need to buy some more packs.
Here we go.
Yeah, the Queen.
Pretty good.
Been surprisingly annoying. Oh, that's a solid one. That's my pick so far.
Freckles. All right, camera, do your work.
Unlike mine.
Drizella. Bolt. Yeah,
It's on the entire background. It's like, no, do the card.
yeah. It really just wants to focus on the cool stuff in the background. Can you blame it? Mulan.
Mulan. Ooh,
All
here
right,
we
so
go.
we got some solid 1 and 2 drops here. This is a tough one.
There we go.
Perla.
Urla, that's a good one.
Gaetan, he's all right.
The Mole Man.
This is a stacked limited pack.
Is
Now
that
we got
Mulan as
Denahi.
well?
No, that's
Oh,
Denahi.
Denahi.
Yeah, this is a stacked limited pack.
It's the one with Reckless and Resist.
Resist
Oh,
2
that's so
specifically.
good.
Resist 2.
So good.
Mad
Mad
Hatter.
and
So many Lyle Tiberius orcs opened on this channel.
There has
All right, what's
been
the foil? Do we have an enchanted? Oh.
Oof.
All
Is
right,
that-
in this bounty of riches, Martin, you can't really choose wrong. What's your pick one, pack one out of this?
give me, what was the foil? Was it Marie or was it
It's Marie.
Toulouse?
Yeah.
Marie? Give me the Marie. My wife loves Marie. I'll bring her home.
He's picking the money card. Yeah, he's keeping
Yeah.
his wife happy. Benny, what about you? What's your pick out of that one?
The
I
Nahi.
think James and I are in the same place. James, are you Team Perla?
I think so. I mean, I love evasives in limited.
Oh, just +3 to my team forever
+3 for
because
support.
there's no
Yeah.
removal. Like,
Yeah.
So broke.
so sick. Denai's very good though.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this one,
And I can't really blame you for pleasing the wife there.
this one's fun too.
It's been very annoying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can run it into something, just like take out a 1-drop or one of those 2-1s or something, and like, oh look,
Yeah.
all of a sudden now try and take it out. Takes everything else out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was mid on it in my review, but since I've been playing around with it, it's been surprisingly annoying.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think I got anything I actually needed in this pack.
Well,
He waited a whole week for this.
I do have plenty of these. Yes, I have tons of those.
you know what you have to do, James.
We've pulled so many Mirabelles and so many Lyle Tiberius works.
And don't forget the Merlins.
2 in an episode.
All right. Why don't we wrap things up? Martin, you were going to do us the honors of bringing us a moment of gratitude for this week. That was a great one.
Yeah, sure. So I want to focus. I believe it's the Central Florida like Lorcana page. So like the Orlando, Kissimmee, that area. I made a Facebook post after my last trip, and I was like for everybody who's like taking stuff to the park, because apparently a lot of cast members are like, yeah, like I've seen other people doing it. So just shout out to anybody in general that's taken Lorcana to the parks, but more so those individuals down in that area who are like stepping up when I'm not there, because I'm only there like again like maybe once a month if I'm lucky. But these are people that like have the ability to go. I think that depending on where you are in Orlando, it's like an hour from the parks. It's like yeah, them for sure.
You've started a movement.
Don't put that pressure on me, Heath. I don't want that.
He's
I
the
don't want
leader.
That's awesome.
the
So
group.
shout out to all of you. You're doing great work.
Exactly.
Nice.
Keep it up, Florida.
Over here on this coast, I heard there actually is a cast member Lorcana League.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
In
cool.
Disneyland somewhere behind the scenes, there is a Lorcana League that they play regularly.
Nice.
I actually, not to cut you guys off, I actually apparently I was reading a post today from that Facebook group that I just mentioned, and cast members in Florida actually play, I think, and like the dorms or wherever they stay. So I guess they have, I don't know if they have a league, but they're playing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Well, if anyone out there is listening, you ever need a guest judge, Martin would love to volunteer sometime.
Oh.
I mean, I'll probably be wrong, but I'll do it. Like, let's go.
I love it.
To read up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, Martin Karp. And yeah, thanks for coming in and joining us on this magical journey. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Like, follow, and subscribe for Heath's sanity. And
I've got no sanity left. There's no hope for me. Don't put that out there.
and have a wonderful week, and we hope we see you again next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.